KLCS spotlights the winners of the 2015 Video in the Classroom Awards in the Los Angeles Unified School District. This is the Video in the Classroom Showcase.
Hello and welcome to the Video in the Classroom Showcase. I'm Jorge Briseño. Throughout this series, we're seeing how students and teachers in the Los Angeles Unified School District combine various disciplines of the school curriculum into award-winning classroom video productions. All of the videos featured in our program were recognized at the 2015 Video in the Classroom Awards. Our final feature comes to us from Wayne Bassinger's Advanced Placement English class at Cleveland Humanities High School. He discovered that several of his female students really enjoyed reading comics, but are not always pleased with the way that women are represented. See what you think when we watch Women in Comics.
Tight costumes, that's two, I guess, and often, I guess, side characters.
Tight costumes and lots of leather.
Well, I haven't really, to be perfectly honest, noticed them that much.
A lot of female comic book characters are very, like, one-dimensional. Like, they don't have a lot of, like, they don't have a lot of traits that, like, any normal, like, woman can, like, identify with.
They always have to wear that skimpy outfit, you know, like weird outfits that somehow seem to defy gravity. They have impossible body shapes, and they have weird costumes that somehow don't fall off, and, you know.
And like on a Batman cover, it's usually him doing something awesome, but then on like I think her name is Miss Marvel? Yeah, it's just kind of her, and she has like a cutout on her breast.
Even now that you have seen female comic book heroes as kind of side characters. I mean, even in the Justice League, if you think of the main Justice League, only Wonder Woman was there. She was just there. There was only one person, just to show that, yes, women do exist as well. And there really wasn't, she wasn't there, she wasn't in deep. I mean, her original weakness was being tied up by a man. That was it. Like, if you had a piece of shoestring and you could tie a square knot, you could take down Wonder Woman.
You know, like, Felicia Hardy is Black Cat, and Black Cat has this, like, outfit, and, like, it's like this, and it goes all the way down here, and it's like, but she's so intelligent. Like, you know, she's in college with Peter. Like,
once that character is portrayed in real life and on camera, then it's a real person, and it's like, like, I don't look like that. Then it's like a body image issue because it's a real woman that I can actually compare myself to who's, like, real.
Like, when you cosplay, you're dressing up as a character from a show or a movie or a comic book that you like, and so it's sort of like you're wearing your interests, like, on your body. So I like that because I meet a lot of people cosplaying who, they recognize who I am, and then we start talking about whatever show I'm cosplaying from, and then it's like, hey, you know, and then I make a lot of friends that way, and it just makes me really happy. Like, you know, I put in so much work into it, and then to, like, have people recognize the character and be like, oh my gosh, you look so good, and I'm like, yay, I feel good.
Although a lot of people get a lot of positive attention from being in a cosplay outfit, there's also some, like, creepy negative attention that you could potentially get, and it's just not something that I'm willing to put myself at risk for.
I mean, obviously, you know, creepy people, that's not fun, but, like, when I do like something, like I'm wearing a bikini top and that's all I'm wearing, and I know that, like, people are gonna be looking at me sexually or looking at me creepily, and I'm like, and I mean, that's uncomfortable, but then I also know, like, it makes me feel good about my body to be able to feel like I can display that and show that off. And I mean, I'm doing it for a character. It's not like I'm going out there, you know, like, let me see how slutty I can make this costume more than it has to be. But if I like a character and they wear something like that, it makes me feel good about myself to know that I can go out there wearing that, and that, you know, people will appreciate me and appreciate it.
I've done a domino cosplay, and I remember when I was, like, putting it together, like, I was like, this is awesome, it's my first comic book costume, like, that I'm ever gonna do, and I was really excited, but I was also really scared. Because like apparently like being in costume isn't enough to like justify that I like the character.
Whenever I meet a guy who's really into comics and they find out that I'm really into comics, they do like this quick little quiz game where they ask me about how much I know about comics, if I know all these little intricate details to somehow prove that I'm actually into comics, instead of just going with it and be like, oh hey cool, you're into comics, I am too. Like it's not that simple, there has to be a little more. I have to prove myself in some way.
I'm not sure what to think. Like that's normal. Like they're comic books. Everyone should be into them. They're fantastic.
I mean, I think it's great because they like it and it makes them happy, so that's good they have something that makes them happy.
They say that they don't treat anyone differently, but there's definitely a different treatment that you get from like friends that are like male that are into comic books. Like, you know, they'll always be like, oh, do you know this? Do you know that? And it's like, when you talk to your male friends, you don't ask, do you know it, you just say it. And it's like, why can't you just say it to me? And like, if I don't know, I'll ask, you know? But like, I don't know why I have to have this like special treatment. Like, oh, well, you know, she probably doesn't know what this means.
Comic books had a huge effect on my life, but I also recognize that they are fiction and they are an idealized world, and it's something that I actually do like about them, is the fact that comic books are extremely idealized. It's a way to escape. It's going into this fantasy realm.
Like saying like, oh, it's not real. It doesn't do any, like, it doesn't cause any harm. Like, obviously, it's causing harm. Like, you know, obviously, like, you know, if like women like me are afraid to go to like comic book conventions because they're afraid of like harassment, or they're afraid of like being drilled with questions, or like, you know, all of these reasons, like, I think like just saying like, oh, it's a fantasy world, it means nothing. Like, it means a lot.
There is a move forward going on right now, and I think that eventually things will be good. like there is hope, there is a change that is happening, and you know, it is being recognized, and it does deserve to be recognized. But there is just such insight from like a female writer and a female artist creating female characters that it is important to have a lot more female comic book writers and artists to create more truly relatable female comic book characters that will then hopefully eventually, you know, overpower those still sexualized images of women in comic books.
I'm still into comic books because I'm waiting for them to like be like for me and not try to make them about me.
Well, this concludes the 8th season of the Video in the Classroom Showcase. We hope teachers and students have been inspired by the videos and films we have presented and are ready to jump into the wonderful world of classroom video production. To learn more about how to do just that, go to our website, klcs.org, and click on the Education tab. You'll find helpful tips on how to make video production become a reality in your classroom. And who knows, maybe next year you'll take home your very own Vic Award in the 2016 Video in the Classroom competition. We certainly hope so. Until then, that's a wrap.